Good evening, teacher and classmates. This is the group number 3, and we are going to explain the consonants pronunciation. I am Lady Criban, and I am going to explain the consonant sounds P. This phoneme is a consonant, is voiceless, plosive, and bilabial. As example of this phoneme, we have penguin, pear, phone, pencil, popcorn, parrot, pizza, pumpkin, panda, pie, pants, plate. To produce this sound, we need to keep both lips together. The air builds up behind the lips, and suddenly lips open and release the air. In this case, the vocal cords do not vibrate. The key contrast of P sound is V, which is voiced. P is aspirated when it appears at the beginning of a stressed syllable. For example, pineapple, peach, plum, partner, panther, panda, pig, penguin, parrot, pumpkin, potato, pen, planet, pencil. P is not aspirated when is after S. For example, spin, speak, space, spray. And when P is located in the middle of the word, we need to analyze the syllable in which P appears. If the syllable is stressed, then P is aspirated. But if the syllable is unstressed, P is not aspirated. For example, in the word appear, the syllable is stressed, so P is aspirated. But in the word happy, the syllable is not stressed, so this is not aspirated. In English, P in the final position is not aspirated. As examples, we have cap, map, stop, help, cup, deep, lip. We also have words with silent P. For example, in agrupations with N, S, and T. As examples, we have pneumonia, pneumatic, cupboard, psychologist, psychotherapy, etc. And the minimal pairs, we have the contrast with the sound. Bat, bat, pig, big, pen, pen, cap, cap, rib, rib. The P is voiceless and the V is voiced. Let's watch a video for explanation. ¿Escucha? ¿Pueden escuchar?
No, no se escucha. Yo no escucho al menos.
The voice is not used. It's just air. It's just air. So it's a voiceless, bilabial, plosive. Also, like t and k, it is normally aspirated, which means there's an audible puff of air when it's released. This is very clear before a vowel sound. To see it in action, watch the candle. park, pot, pin. It's nearly always aspirated except before s. Spark, spot, spin. The candle doesn't move, so the P in these words is unaspirated. The phonetic symbol for aspiration is a superscript H, but you won't see it in phonemic dictionary transcriptions. Compare the phonetic and the phonemic transcriptions of pin. P is always spelt with the letter P, except in one spelling of the word hiccup. But even that word can be spelt with a P. Have a glass of water. Don't say the P in receipt, cupboard, raspberry, coo, words starting PS like psycho, or words starting PN like pneumatic. Pronunciation Studio.
Unreleased P. Now, we form our mouth the same way for P as we do B, but this one doesn't have the sound coming out with it. It's more of the air. Not b, 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 but p. So I want to be able to share with you how it's softer on the end of the word. So here's our examples. Cup, cap, flap, gap, pep, rep, blip, clip, dip, drop, flop, hop, cup, pup, up, cape, grape, tape, beep, deep, jeep, gripe, pipe, ripe, hope, mope, nope. So you should be able to hear, like even in the word pup, the first sounding of the P is stronger than that last one of the unreleased sound of P. Pup, pup, pup. It should be stronger. So all the examples that I've been trying to share with you are how the unreleased sound is much more softer, and sometimes some people don't even really pronounce them. So it might be the hard part that you're hearing with people. But I don't want you to be focusing so much on your pronunciation that you overemphasize when it's a soft, unreleased consonant at the end of the word.
Hello everyone, I'm Gabriela Combajin. I am going to talk about consonant sound B. The characteristic is the consonant B is a explosive stop sound. The airflow is completely blocked and then released. The place of articulation is bilabial because produced using both lips. The lips come together to stop the airflow and then open sondel. This picture and lady, please, previous slide. Yes. Now, this picture is the first part is lips closed and then the lips open. And now the air release and produce the consonant B. Please. The manner of articulation is the bilabial plosive stop, and the airflow is the stop completely in the oral cavity. The pressure boils up, and the air is released abruptly. And the picture, this part, we have the airflow blocked, the airflow let stop, and then the pressure boils up, and finally the air release. The air is burst out. Next. So the allophones of phoneme B and the first is voiced bilabial plosive fold and the word initial position after a pause. In the strength syllable, the characteristic principle is complete lip closure and fully voiced. For example, book, ball, and baby. The second allophone is partially devoiced bilabial plosive and word final position before a voiceless consonant. The reduced vocal cord vibration weaker sound than B. For example, cough, absent. The third allophone is unrealized bilabial plosive, and before another plosive or final position. The lip occlusion maintains no audible release. For example, cough of subway. And the finally allophone is voice bilabial approximant fricative. And this part is informal or fast speech because Spanish influence in bilingual speakers. Complete lip occlusion and continuous eye flow. For example, about. Next. Well, the minimal pairs constructing is shows that change and meaning when B is replaced by another phoneme in the same context. For example, the construct B versus P. For example, B versus pick. Construct B versus B. For example, berry and berry. Construct B versus M. For example, bat and mat. The construct B versus D, for example, bat and dat. Please play the video.
Are you ready for the next challenge on minimal pairs? Today, we will have a look at minimal pairs where the difference is either the or b in the same position. You can see 5 pairs of words on the screen. I'll be reading out only one of the words. You need to listen to them, type them in the comment section below, and hopefully you get 5 out of 5. Let's get started. Number 1, berry. Number 2, van. Number 3, vet. Number 4, vote. And number 5, best. Okay, make sure you comment below and check back in 2 days' time where I'll be revealing the answers as a pinned comment.
Hello everyone, I am Natalie Delgado. Today I'm going to talk about the stop consonant sound T, which is represented by the letter T. Next, phonetic feature. The sound T is a stop consonant. It's voiceless, which means the vocal cords do not vibrate. The airflow is blocked and the release suddenly. The next. The articulation process. To produce the sound T, the tongue touches the alveolar ridge. The air is stopped inside the mouth and the release quickly. This creates a short and clear sound. Next. The sound T can be pronounced in different ways depending on disposition in a word. At the beginning of the stressed word, it is expirative, for example, time and table. Between vowels, it can sound like flap, for example, water and better. And the end of word is usually unrealized, for example, cat and sick. Next. Yeah, play the video, please.
Words take, today, and to. It's a sound from the consonant pairs group, and it's called the voiceless alveolar stop. This means that you stop the airflow with your tongue at the ridge behind your teeth. The t sound is made through the mouth and it's unvoiced, which means that you don't use your vocal cords to make the sound. It's defined by the motion of your tongue, and it's a stop sound, which is a sound made by building up air pressure, by stopping airflow and then releasing it. In this case, you stop the airflow with the tongue against the area behind the top teeth. To produce the sound, block the airflow by placing the front of your tongue behind your top teeth, and then release the pressure by pulling the tongue back into your mouth. T, t, t. The t sound is normally spelled with the letter T, as in the words last, into, between, and let. Here are some words that begin with a t sound. Tell, try, time, and talk. Here are some words with the t sound in the middle. Twitter, start, study, control. And here are some words with the t sound at the end. Against, tight, night, and thought. So that's it for the t sound. But we've made additional videos on each of the groups of sounds, vowels, diphthongs, single consonants, and consonant pairs, as well as a video explaining the phonetic chart. You can also click on any of the symbols behind me to see a similar video, lots of examples, and an explanation about that sound. Skype or Google Hangouts. To make a booking with me or one of our other teachers, visit our website. You can also follow us on Twitter and Facebook.
Hi, teacher and classmates. My name is Inaeras, and I'm going to talk about phoneme and allophones. Next slide, please, Lee. Here, the basic concepts. The important is identify the sounds, for example, the subpalate, the velar region, the tongue, the dorsal is in the back of the tongue, and the velar region is in the back of the upper jaw. It's important to identify the sounds of the mouth cavity because we need in the future, in the next slides, to pronounce correctly the sound. In the basic concepts, it's a velar stop sound. It uses the back of the tongue. If you see the velar region, is where is the point of articulation. It uses the back of the tongue or the dorsal part to develop the air in the soft palate. During the pronunciation process, the vocal cord doesn't vibrate. Both English and in Spanish is the same. Doesn't vibrate if I use in English with the k in English or ka in Spanish. In English, k has 4 allophones, and in Spanish, just 1. Next slide, please. Here,
Ellie.
stop a moment, please, the video. Here we can see the video, and this video give us to steps, sorry, very little steps to pronounce correctly the k sounds. Play, please, the video.
Let's practice our pronunciation. Today, we're looking at the K sound. It's also known as the hard C sound. Can you make the K sound? Follow these steps. First, open your mouth just a little bit. Next, place the tip of your tongue behind your bottom teeth. Now, put the back part of your tongue against the roof of your mouth. Then, let out a quick puff of air. Try it with me. Are you ready? K. K. Now let's practice a few words with the K sound. Listen and repeat after me. Are you ready? Cat. Kite. Broccoli. Sick. Rake. The K sound can be spelled with the letter C as in cat, K as in kite, CC as in broccoli, CK as in sick, or KE as in rake. Great job. Well done.
The helpful tips from the video to recognize when I pronounce those, any word with the k sounds is when it starts with C, for example, with cat, or it starts with k, with K, for example, with kite, or when I found double C, for example, broccoli, or CK, for example, in sick, and KE in rake. It's important to identify when use a K sound. Next, please. Yes. Here I found 4 allophons for English, have 4, and for Spanish have 1. In initial position, all those allophons are voiceless, dorsovelar, and stop. The characteristic that change is the last one. For example, when it is in the initial position, is strongly aspirate. For example, could. When it's in the middle, is an aspirate. For example, uncle. It's not strong, it's very soft. When it's in the final, is unreleased. For example, punk. When it's in the initial, no initial, it's in the final. I'm sorry, I have a mistake. It's released, back. And in Spanish, the alpha in Spanish in the middle is an aspirate. For example, doctor. Next, please. Here have some examples for the initial, middle, and final position, and in Spanish too. For initial, cat, K, or coal, is a spirit. In the middle, baker, ticket, doctor. And final, back, rack, music. And in Spanish too, it's the same sound, cama, saco, brack. It's all for me. Thank you, teacher.
Now we're going to start the conversation. This conversation about is expressing our purpose.
Excuse me, Gabriela, we have the G sound left.
Oh, okay, yeah.
This phoneme is a consonant. This is plosive stop. And the place of articulation is velar. This is voiced. As examples of this phoneme, we have the words gift, guitar, girl, garlic, gas, glue, gloves, gas, grapes, grass. In English, the letter G has 2 main pronunciations. The hard G, as in glass, angle, gate, gossip, and the soft G, which sounds like a J sound. For example, gentle, giant, energy, gym, angel, digital. The soft G is when the consonant is followed by E, I, or E. And the hard G is when the consonant is followed by A, O, or U. G is silent when it comes before N at the end of the word. The exception is the word signature. Examples: num, foreign, align, design, sign, campaign, assign, etc. In these words, we don't pronounce the G sound. And when G is aggruppated with H in many words, this combination is silent. For example, night, G and H doesn't sound. Night, high, light. Sometimes when G is combined with H, it turns into an F sound. For example, laugh, cough. When G is with U, it is used to keep the hard G, and the sound is before E and I. For example, guess, guide, guitar. Some common mistakes when we are learning English is that we confuse the soft G with a hard G. And sometimes we tend to pronounce the silent G. Final explanation.
Good pronunciation? Silly question. Of course you do. So stay with me, because in this video, I'm going to show you how to achieve great pronunciation. I'm going to show you the sounds and how to say them, just like me. Simply watch, listen, and repeat with me. I promise you, you won't be disappointed. Today, we'll be looking at some minimal pairs and contrasting the consonant sounds, because this is a great way to help you improve your pronunciation. So let's get started. To get the most out of this lesson, I strongly recommend you practice the sounds by repeating after me. Remember the tag, watch, listen and repeat. I'll let you know when to do this. Oh, and if you can record yourself and compare it to me, you'll learn even faster. Let's start by comparing the unvoiced consonant P with the voiced consonant B. Oh, and before I forget, you'll need a sheet of paper. Both of these sounds begin with a build-up of pressure. Put your lips together to block the airflow. Then release, like this. P, P. Notice it's unvoiced, so there's no vibration there. Now copy me. P, P. You're probably noticing there is a sort of pop as the air is released as you say the sound. It's a bit like a small explosion. Watch this paper trick. P, P. See how the force of air is pushing the paper away? Now you try it. Good? Now let's try B. This is the same as P, but it's voiced. So you should be able to feel a vibration here. Now try the paper trick like this. B, B. Notice how there's less air being forced through. That's because voiced consonants have a weaker force of exhalation. With T and D, the blade of your tongue touches the bony ridge immediately behind your upper front teeth. Here. In other words, the alveolar ridge. This is where you block and release the airstream.
Lady, we have we don't have enough time. It's important to
Okay,
go to
let's
the
continue with
conversation,
the
please.
conversation. Okay.
Now we're going to start the conversation. This conversation is about expressing our purpose for this year using words with consonant sound. Hi, girls. I would like to know what your proposals are for this New Year's. Well, my goal for this new year, I have certain goals to achieve. Last year, I couldn't finish reading my book about The Prince by William of Windsor. I intend to get up early and avoid taking a cab to work. Opting instead for the subway. I also plan to go to the gym regularly or go to play ball on the weekend because I've been absent these past few months. And Leslie, the other day, so very in the Tayos Cave where there are bats. I would like to see a baby and big one. Lady, what is your purpose?
Well, nice girls. My problem is that I struggle to understand spoken English, and when I try to make myself understand, people doesn't comprehend my message. So I need to improve my pronunciation, listening, and fluency in English. My goals means practice more time, participate more in conversations, and improving my grammar, um, my clarification of my ideas, my communication. I need to communicate effectively, and principally my main goal is to improve my English listening and my English fluency. What about you, Diane?
For me, in this year, I have an important goals. One resolution is to do exercise. Last year, I had a back pain, and the doctor told me to be active. Even when it's a cold, I want to eat healthy and not buy too much bread from the baker. Eating well is the key to feeling better. I also want to finish my career. I study English and Spanish, and this goal has a long span. This year, I want to create my own application. It is a challenge, but I am reading to rock. I want to read every day, and my cat stays with me. Finally, I want to save money to buy a ticket for a trip. When I think about my plans, music plays in my head. And what about you, Natalie? What is your purpose for this year?
And this year, I want to take more time to improve my English pronunciation and speaking skills. I try to practice through different activities and show talks with my classmates every week. I think that training constantly and paying close attention to details will help me communicate better. Um, Sometimes I feel nervous when talking, but I want to trust myself and try again without fear. I plan to watch educational tutorials and take notes to reinforce what I learned. Through teamwork and constant practice, I believe it's possible to reach a personal goals. In the long term, I want to speak with more confidence and express my ideas clearly during conversation. Thank you.
Well, girls, I am sure that with much practice, we will gain confidence when speaking English. So, my wish to you is a very happy new year, and I hope you achieve all your goals. Thank you.
Thank you, lady. Thank you, girls.
Thank you, lady. Thank you, all of those.
Oh no.